Right then. First things first is the introduction.
Yes.
So
You're up.
I'm up. So this. Welcome to episode 1, the pilot episode of our brand new podcast, Duck-Sized Horses.
Exactly. Nailed.
The name will sort of become apparent in a little moment.
You'd hope so. You would hope so. Wouldn't you?
We would. But no, this is a podcast all about things that we'd rather do. But I think before we sort of get going on what we'd rather do, let's probably introduce ourselves. So, who are you?
Well, thank you for asking, firstly. I'm Nathan Herat, and I wish I had more to tell you about myself, but I don't really have a lot to say. Aspiring stand-up, possibly former quiz host.
Possibly former quiz host.
We won't go into those details, but that's it, I think, for me.
That's a pretty good resume. Yeah, it's pretty spot on.
Short and sweet.
So
Who are you?
I am Jack Higgins. I am the radio and audio nerd out of this ensemble.
You are basically the brains behind the entire project.
I don't know about that.
I think 100%.
Not just a pretty face, but that would be going some stretch as well, I think, if I was describing myself as that.
It is very pretty, though.
But thank you very much.
I just hope for the viewers.
This is lovely. This is I'm enjoying this already. Compliments are flowing. I like the radio. I like audio, and I'm bold.
Nice.
I think,
concise.
That kind of helps narrow things down. I think that's a pretty.
That paints a picture for the listener.
Yeah, exactly. So, should we tell them a little bit about the podcast? What's it all about, Nathan?
So, the podcast, we are going to be basically dealing with the big questions of society in a sense of would you rather. So, questions such as the one of tonight's show, which is, would you rather be attacked by 100 duck-sized horses or one duck-sized horse? I may have screwed up the question there, Higgins.
I think you did.
Did I screw up the question?
I think it was. I think it was. So, well, we had this.
Reiterate the question.
We had this little hoo-ha in the week.
We did.
I think as well, where we sort of go, oh wait, is it this? Is it that? So it's, would you rather?
Yes.
And this is.
I think we agreed on that bit.
Would you rather fight 100 duck-sized horses or one horse-sized duck?
That is
I think
question.
where we sort of stumbled in the week was along the lines of, would you rather fight 100 horse-sized ducks or 100 duck-sized horses? And
either way, that's a challenge.
Yeah, I don't think I'd like to fight 100 of anything.
No.
But there we go, and let alone 100 horse-sized ducks as well.
That is just
but
incredible.
we'll save our answers for in a little moment's time.
Yes.
But the idea is that we are going to, as you said quite rightly, tackle the big questions in society.
Yes.
And you're going to help us out as well. So you're going to send us in suggestions of things we'd rather do. They don't have to be extensive.
No, or sensible.
Or sensible at all.
Appreciate from our show.
So, details of how to do that will sort of follow on afterwards. And the way it's going to work is we're going to ask our question. We're both going to give our answers at the same time.
Yes, we are.
And then we pick apart each other's answers, and we have to try and convince the other person that our idea is the best one.
Yeah.
And for the purposes of this round, we're going to hit our first question with which would you rather fight, 100 duck-sized horses or one really massive duck?
Properly big duck.
Really big duck.
Properly big.
And if we pick the same answer, we're going to try and imagine what madness would ensue the other side.
The other side.
So, I guess we just crack on with it.
Shall we crack on? Shall I ask you the question?
Hit me up with a question.
Let's see if I can get it right this time, shall we?
Before we start as well, I just want to throw out there that this would be a big battle.
It would be a battle. We're talking days.
Whichever side is concerned here, whether it's one really massive duck or loads of little
tiny
horses.
ones.
If there are any movie producers listening,
Yes, this is a great film.
we fully retain the rights to this idea.
We do.
And we're going to have to be in star roles for
I think
this.
so. Yeah, I think this is a voiceover job, surely.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe not just that. I mean,
physically in the film.
yeah,
Actually,
physically in the film.
alongside them.
Yeah, the protagonist, the antagonist. I play all the roles.
antagonists.
I write the theme tune, sing the theme tune, all of that. And as well, if anybody has any sort of special effects,
we need
pals
special
as well,
effects.
we'd need that.
Promos.
Someone to airbrush some hair onto me, or know a good
And
wig
some hair
maker.
off me, I think.
Yep.
Good.
That could work quite well.
Also, I feel we should point out for anyone who may work for the RSPCA, these are metaphorical horses
Yes,
and ducks. There
no
was actual
ducks
harming.
nor horses were harmed
Are gonna
during
be
the
harmed,
making of
exactly.
this podcast.
Yes, none were harmed, none will be harmed. Well, that's not entirely true, actually. Metaphorically, some will be harmed, I think, but physically...
If you're of a disposition where you might want to harm a really massive duck or lots of little horses, turn it off now.
Yeah, this is not the podcast for you.
No, there's plenty of
there
other
are
ones.
other podcasts.
Go and listen to No Such Thing as a Fish, unless you want to hurt fish as well.
Yeah, well, what does that say about you as a person?
Yeah. If that's the case, maybe we should make a little warning flag for the RSPCA. Just
Yeah,
hey
just,
guys, over here.
It's harmless fun,
Harmless fun.
unless you're a horse-sized duck or a duck-sized horse.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're in for it, really, aren't you?
You are. Hit me with a question,
I shall
Nathan.
hit you with the question, sir. So, question 1 of 1.
Question 1 of 1.
Planning. So, would you rather be attacked by 100 duck-sized horses or 1 horse-sized duck? Mr. Higgins, you have the floor.
I would rather be attacked and have to fight 1 horse-sized duck.
Oh, controversial.
How about you?
I've gone for the same.
You've gone for the same? Wow, okay,
One horse-sized duck.
Right, that's a great start. Why? Why would you want to
Why
fight
would
one?
I? Because I think it would be more manageable, firstly, because it's just the one,
Mm-hmm.
and numbers isn't exactly my strong point. Plus, I feel 1 horse-sized duck could be contained with maybe 1 to 2 loaves of bread.
See, I had a
Maybe.
similar idea,
Did
but
you go
then
down the bread route?
I sort of thought we'd have to find a really big baker.
True, but does the bread need to be the same size as said horse-sized duck?
I think, well, it needs to be big. It needs to be a sizable portion. You know how disappointed you are when you see fun-sized Mars bars?
True. False advertising.
It would need to be. If you just give a normal loaf of bread to a horse-sized duck,
Yeah.
you may as well just be giving him a fun-sized Mars bar.
That's a very valid point, sir.
Needs a massive loaf of bread,
It does need a massive loaf of bread.
and consequently a really massive baker.
Well, does the baker themselves need to be big, or do they just have to have large premises?
If you're from Kingsmill, please get in touch. You may be able to help us out with this.
Us in terms of baker's premises.
Okay, so you've gone for the bread thing.
I have gone for the bread thing.
I thought about that as well,
Have you?
as we've alluded to now. Why else? Why what?
Well, I have written down on my bit of paper that I think a horse-sized duck would be cooler to ride.
Yeah, but he's attacking you.
Yeah, but once tamed with the bread, as we've touched upon, that is quite a cool pet to own.
Okay,
I think as a sort of
oh,
pet,
you're going for taming it.
I'm going for taming. I'm going for crufts. I'm
Right,
taking that
okay,
to crufts.
right.
Because let's face it,
I'm in for the kill.
I'm going straight for. You're going for the kill.
I'm going for the kill.
You're going to kill it.
It's life that the ducks attacked me.
True.
It's one or the other.
True.
One of us has to come out of the sort of bready pile, fighting the other side, and it's not going to be the duck.
It's not going to be the duck in this instance.
No.
So you're going for the situation that the duck has attacked you first.
Yep.
He started said
Yeah,
fight.
I'm unprovoked. I'm not a fighter. I'm a lover with my pretty face.
Yes, you are.
The ducks attacked me. I don't fight unless provoked.
Fair enough. So what would be your killer move, or maybe a move set? We'll go WWE style. How would you break down said horse-sized duck?
I would. I'd use the bread as a bait.
We're going bread bait.
We've
bread bait.
gone back to the that thing. I'm imagining it's in some kind of like Colosseum.
Well, that's true. We haven't discussed the venue, have we?
No.
I thought field initially,
Field.
hence the riding
Okay.
sort of field. But you've gone Colosseum.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, I kind of feel if I was forced to fight said duck,
yeah, you'd want a proper venue.
it would
wouldn't
be
you?
against my will, and it would be in kind of like a Roman Colosseum, like
Yeah.
Gladiator, but completely quackers.
Oh, smooth.
No,
Smooth.
no, it wasn't. We can't get into puns on the first episode.
No, we can't.
We're just gonna lose listeners. We're going to be on negative listeners.
We are probably on negative listeners now, to be honest.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, we are. Even your mum's
Even my mum's not
left the
listening,
room.
she's
Just, I'm not being.
angered.
I'm not being party to this.
angered by it.
Yeah. So you'd be in a Colosseum.
Yeah,
In my vision of Duck versus Jack.
nice. There's a film.
But yeah, and I would lay a thing of bread. I'm imagining this with no weapons involved as well.
Oh yeah,
Because
on either side.
yeah,
Fair.
yeah, a fair fight.
Impartial. Yeah.
Ref?
or no ref?
Ooh, maybe like the ref bot from
Ref bot from like Robot Wars.
Yep, that could work. And I jump on the duck's back, sort of
Nice,
try
good
and
start.
ride the duck, like, and maybe take him down like the cave troll in Lord of the Rings,
Nice.
that sort of style.
Nice.
I think that's probably going to be the best way to sort a massive duck out.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. But you want to tame it? How would you go about taming it?
I would tame it probably again with
like cowboy style. Like
well,
a,
what kind of lasso it maybe. I don't know because that requires an awful lot of skill, and I'm not sure I have the skill of lassoing.
no, I once tried to learn how to lasso. When
Did
I
you
was,
really?
Yeah, when I was younger, with like a dressing gown rope, and like tried like fling it over the end of the bedpost, and then eventually sort of around like a teddy bear. And
Nice. Famed for moving teddy
yeah,
bears.
famed.
so
Yeah, exactly. Very difficult
tough
to
to lasso.
Yeah,
tough,
very difficult
tough.
to wrangle. That's what cowboys call it. I'll have you
Wrangling.
know. Wrangling.
Look at you.
I think so. If there are any
Any cowboys?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
any cowboys out there?
Please write in at the end of the show. Details will follow. You can give us a lesson. I failed miserably at it.
Did you?
All
You
for
couldn't
lassoing
wrangle a teddy
things.
bear?
No, could not wrangle a teddy bear. If anything, I was just swinging around a dressing gown rope, knocking things in my room over.
That sounds amazing.
So right, so you
So yeah, so
you,
I'm going
you
for
go
the tame.
wrangling.
I'm going for the wrangle approach. And then, I'll be honest, I haven't really thought, once tamed, I assume I would have to build some kind of hutch or housing environment for them, because I couldn't just leave it lassoed with nowhere to go.
Yeah,
But how do you house such a beast?
I'm not sure.
Definitely not a hutch. That was a poor choice.
See, now I was sort of warming to your idea of keeping it as a pet. Now
You're warming to that, are you?
Yeah, I kind of feel like I jumped the gun with the whole straight
I think
into
you
the
may have
kill
gone too
thing.
violent.
Yeah.
I think you've gone savage.
But now I'm thinking about it. Feasibly, could you keep a duck? Like it might be, if you're going to have to fight it anyway.
True.
It might be better to.
Well, I'm assuming this fight is a
off it.
one-off event. It's not like a repeat performance. You're not going back and continuously fighting it.
True.
That'd be a sad life for that poor duck.
Poor animal.
Exactly.
Just to reiterate, this is
Yeah.
all metaphorical.
It is.
No ducks were
Exactly.
harmed during the making of this.
Podcast. No, they weren't.
No.
They weren't harmed.
So you'd need a couple of things. Then you'd need the massive baker from
You would.
from the start of this question to feed your duck. You'd need a massive enclosure for the duck.
Enclosure. That
Yeah,
was the word I was looking for.
like a really big duck house.
Not housing environment, which I called it. That was far too posh.
You need a really big duck house.
Big duck house, yeah.
So like
One thing we've glossed over before all of these things come into play, you'd need the massive duck before you even started.
I thought that was the whole point. You're going to tackle it and take it down and
You'd
capture
need
it.
to source it first, surely.
Also, I don't think so. You'd be attacking the duck first to try and capture it.
Yes.
Because otherwise, you've kind of got to have the duck
You've
in
got-
captivity in some kind of makeshift
Yeah.
accommodation until you get a carpenter around and build a duck house
Exactly.
and hire the baker for an extended period of time.
Exactly. No, from my approach is you are finding this duck.
So it's
You
more
are
like a duck
attacking
hunt.
it as opposed to it's more a hunt than it being attacked, I suppose.
Other 80s games are available. I think Duck Hunt is a game. There's other
Duck Hunt, yeah.
games that you can buy and play.
Hook a duck, for example.
Hook a duck is a great thing. Maybe right. That's how you could capture it.
That is how you capture a horse-sized duck. Hook it.
A really big hook. I mean, we're assuming now that the duck has a hook on it that you can,
Or some kind of collar. This is a maybe pre-tamed.
Do you get an equally big prize if you manage to hook it?
If you hook it, good
you get the
question.
duck.
You get the duck, yeah. You just own the duck.
Well, that's solved.
Yeah.
Okay, right. I'm sort of warming.
You're warming to the pet duck idea.
To the pet duck idea, the really massive duck. Yeah, no, that could work.
It could work, I think. I'm feeling confident about that.
Yeah, no, that's good. Also, you might need quite a big moat just in case there's an equally big fox.
True.
Because duck houses are always prone
by foxes.
Yep.
Yeah. That's
Quite sad. So yeah, an equally big moat. I don't know.
I think that's it, isn't it? Really.
I like it, but I think it's quite a lot of upkeep.
It's quite maintenance wise. That's going to be quite costly.
Have I convinced you to
kill it?
To kill a massive duck?
To kill a massive duck. There is certainly merit in your approach, but I fear violence isn't always the answer in these situations.
No. 100% not.
But I can understand why, if you were to be attacked by said huge duck, your first thought probably may not be, let's keep it as a pet. You'd want to eradicate it.
I mean, when it comes down to it, if I was attacked, obviously the flight and fight thing would kick in.
Yeah, definitely.
I can't use the flight option because the duck's already beaten me there.
Yeah, you're already 1-0 down.
So I've got to go with option number one really, and that's to
kill it.
To kill the duck. Plus, as well, I think I'd be getting sort of free Chinese for ages after that as well.
Oh, you've already thought what you do with said duck carcass afterwards.
Yep.
You're cooking it.
Yep. Lovely, lovely ducky pancakes.
You're going the pancake route. You're not going duck chow mein or anything like that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Very.
I'm tempted. Now I know that you're possibly going to eat it. I'm suddenly warming to your idea. As a fan of duck, I'm warming to your idea of possibly eating it.
I'd be eating it for months.
True.
I could feed the neighbourhood.
That is a meal that keeps you going, isn't it?
It is. It's a lot of duck.
That is a heck of a lot of duck.
I think I'm gonna have to side with you on this one though.
Oh, you're going with
like,
me?
Even with all the uptake,
it's still worth it.
Yeah,
and you can make money back. I don't know, getting
you can make
kids
it
in the area riding it, or
complete tourist attraction.
Yeah, exactly. Or train it.
Come and see my massive duck.
Grand National. What a win! What a win that is.
Ah, yeah. Because you could fly over the track.
Yeah, that would be cheating though, wouldn't it? If you fly, it'd have to be running. You have to sort of peg the wings so that they can't fly.
Doing the jumps would be easier.
Jumps would be pretty easy. Grand National, surely.
Yep. Right. No. Yeah. I'm in. I'm
on
board.
You're on my side. Welcome aboard, sir.
Thank you very much. But now, because we've sort of both picked the same answer, we have to
look at the other side of the coin.
Other side. So 100 duck-sized horses. Yeah. Now I said at the start of this podcast that fighting 100 of anything would be ridiculous.
It would be a challenge.
I don't like doing anything 100 times. I mean, like, frankly, playing Snakes and Ladders is an uphill struggle for me.
You don't even like counting to 100.
No. I don't know what you do. I mean, obviously you could kick them.
Yeah, I suppose. But how would you go about it? That's the question.
I don't know. So, am I being attacked first, or am I actively going out to find? Are they in a group?
Oh no, I think you're being attacked by them. Surely anything that's 100 is, I'm saying, early swarm type.
All right. Okay.
This is a swarm.
This is a swarm. So they're not out and about in the wild, and I've just got to go and.
No, you've not kind of stumbled across
go and kick 100
group.
of them.
A group of them.
Yeah. Like a gathering.
Yeah.
Okay, so this bit I'm being swarmed upon.
You're being swarmed upon by 100 duck-sized horses.
See, now I think the flight or fight thing could work because
Absolutely.
horses, quite famously, can't fly.
Spot on. Spot on.
So yeah.
Neither can you, though, Jack. I feel I should mention that. Sorry to burst that bubble.
There is that. There is that. I don't know. You could introduce some weapons to get rid of him.
You could, yeah. But what would your weapon of choice be then if you're going to introduce weapons to
Well,
deal with the situation? What are you going to?
I guess in the scenario we chose before, kind of bread was our weapon.
Bread's a weapon.
You could use some kind of like almost like go down the bakery route. Use rock cakes.
Rock cakes, yeah.
Lob those at the horses.
That would do some serious damage.
Scatter them out a little bit. I know what would the horses eat? Hay and fruit. And
well, they like sugar cubes, don't they? I don't know. I don't really own a horse.
Just pelt loads of sugar cubes at them. Try and distract them.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Wow, that's painting quite the image.
How would you take them down?
I would try and kind of herd them in some sort of one man and his dog type style.
Ah, okay, so right, so
without the sheepdog, obviously.
I'm sensing a pattern emerging here. I've gone for kill.
You are,
and
we're
attack again.
Clearly, episode 1, we are distinguishing who's the violent member of the podcast.
And you're going for.
And I'm the one that clearly wants a pet, but hasn't got one.
Could you round up 100 horses? 100 duck-sized horses?
I reckon I could, but it's going to be a challenge. It's going to be a long day.
I mean, I guess they'd be easier to catch.
True. Yeah, they're smaller.
Just need like a lot of, I don't know, like washing baskets to
lob
on top of them.
Yeah, you need some kind of net-based situation.
Then you don't want to hurt them if you're catching them.
Yeah, but I'd catch them humanely. I wouldn't set traps for them or something. I'd just herd them, like they do with one man and his dog, into a gated
area, like a paddock.
Area. Yeah, like a paddock. Thank you. Look at you knowing the words.
Mate, I'm all over these words. I have the best words.
You do have the best words. Housing environment. So, yeah, I would get them into a paddock, gate locked.
Job's a good one.
Sorted. Yeah.
Would you need a dog, like a sheepdog?
Well,
but like a duck-sized horse dog.
Dog, yeah, possibly, but I don't know what commands you would shout at said dog to round up.
Put the ducks over there.
Yeah, well, now you see that's quite wordy for a dog. They tend to use whistles and gestures, don't they?
Get the ducks over here.
Is that your commanding whistle?
Yeah.
That strikes fear into many a person, that whistle. Nice.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's what I go for. I get the dog to sort of start at one end of. Again, I've gone field. You went Colosseum because you're violent, but I went. I've gone for a field, so I'm having the dog go left, and I'll walk to the right.
Okay.
And then I'd click or jump or catch the dog's attention somehow. Maybe not jump. Okay, I don't think I've jumped in my life, but still, the point is
jump to get a dog's.
I'd get the dog's attention in some way, whistling perhaps instead of jumping, and then the dog would run one way, and I'd attempt to run the other, and in that sort of way.
Again, right? Just so there's a lot of thought. There needs to be preparation into this because beforehand it was building the duck house, and
yeah.
But now you've got to play the long game. You've got to train the dog.
Well, yes, that's a valid point. I didn't think about the dog training side, but that can't take long.
I don't know. I don't know. Ryan's got a dog. One of our mate Ryan, he's got a dog.
He does.
He's put a year into training it, and he's still quite naughty.
Yeah, but to be fair, Ryan isn't training his dog to deal with horse-sized ducks.
No, he's not. Hi, Ryan.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
Thanks for being our one listener.
Hello to Dexter as well. Good.
Dexter's the dog.
Good boy.
Sit, Dexter.
If that was a dog, I don't think he'd
no, maybe not.
No.
So it would have to be maybe a pre-trained dog.
Pre-trained. Can you get pre-trained dogs?
Well, you could get them trained for other eventualities, I suppose. Like guide dog.
Yeah.
Or
how would you phrase that though? Excuse me. I'd like a
dog for herding some
miniature
horses into a paddock.
Do you mean sheep?
Not sheep. Not
no,
sheep.
no. Definitely. I definitely said horses.
I definitely said.
Try to pay attention whilst I'm trying to buy a dog, please.
I wonder how much said dog would cost.
I don't know. Is he in a
Depends.
window?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe you should sing a song about it.
No. We've already tried the puns.
We have tried puns. That
We've
was...
tried the one pun. Does that count as a second? I don't know. I think if we go in the musical direction with this whole podcast shape,
This would be our first and last episode, probably,
Yes.
if we went down that route.
Okay, so 100 duck-sized horses would be a duck-sized, 100
Yeah.
duck-sized horses. See, we're
still
falling.
not even sure of the question now.
We're falling all over it. Would be a massive pain, regardless. Fight or round up.
Yeah, either way,
Um,
that is difficult.
I don't know. You could try and find some miniature jockeys, but they'd be borrower sized as well.
True.
Like if they were duck sized.
Yeah, but where do you start to look for a miniature jockey?
Right now I've got it. So
Here we go. Strap
Right.
yourselves in, folks. This is about to get good.
Have you ever been to the Big Sheep in Devon?
No.
Already looking for endorsements, by the way. So they do a thing there called sheep racing, where they have like little rag dolls on the back of sheep.
Really?
Yeah. So I'm thinking is
It's a legitimate thing.
legit thing.
Really?
Get online, have a look at it. Sheep racing. We could get little dolls,
Little dolls here.
put them on the back of the horses, and we could have our own sort of little miniature Grand National.
Mini Grand National. Nice. I'm warming to the idea of a mini Grand National.
Yeah. So we'd have to round them up. We couldn't kill them.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's settled.
That
then.
is. I think we've settled on that.
Yeah. Perfect. So I think as well we're sort of nicely coming towards a natural conclusion.
That's
all of
that
this.
topic dealt with.
So yeah, well, that's that. That's episode 1
Yes.
of 100 duck-sized horses. Should we tell everybody how they can get in touch
Yes.
and what we'd like them to do?
Go ahead.
So you can get in touch with us in all the usual places on Facebook and Twitter. You can follow our page, Duck-sized Horses,
Yes.
or on Twitter at DSH Podcast. I tried putting in Duck-sized Horse Podcast. It was too long. Twitter wouldn't let me have it. It was a whole thing.
It was the whole thing.
It was a whole thing. Or you can be, I guess, old-fashioned and email us.
Modern era is old-fashioned.
Email us at ducksizedhorsespodcast@gmail.com. And we'd like you to get in touch and send us some silly, not so sensible suggestions of things we'd rather do.
Yeah, questions basically, like
Yeah.
you heard tonight.
So there's also something else we'd like you to do, if
We
possible.
would.
And there's a bit of a competition with a prize
It
as
is
well.
a little bit of a competition.
Tell everybody about that, Nathan.
I shall. So, the competition we'd like you to do is take a picture of yourself, either with a duck or a horse of regular size, or perhaps not.
Well, yeah, if you can find a
Yeah.
duck-sized horse
You'd
or
be
a horse-sized duck,
sorted.
yeah, that would be fantastic.
Exactly.
Yeah, like that's a golden opportunity
That is a golden opportunity.
that we quite clearly haven't researched.
No,
or
we
gone
may have missed.
anywhere into finding.
We may have missed that. So yeah, if you can send us, on the ways Jack has said, a picture of you with either a horse or a duck, or for a special prize. Shall I tell them what the prize is before I say the challenge, or shall I say the challenge and then reveal the prize?
Go for the prize first.
Okay, so
It's almost like to get a Blue Peter badge.
exactly.
You can do this.
So to get this star prize, which will be a signed rubber duck.
Not necessarily signed by ourselves.
Exactly. You don't know who it could be signed by. There's a pull-in point for anyone listening.
Mm-hmm.
Could be famous, could be not. What we need you to do for that
Could equally be us as well.
could be us. It will probably be us, but let's pretend it's not us to build excitement, I think.
Yep.
So to get your signed rubber duck by us, or not us, but it will be us, send us a picture of you with a duck and a horse.
Answers on the back of a postcard. I guess.
I guess, yeah.
That's a thing people
That is a
say.
thing people
Or-
say. It's
or-
not really relevant because we want them to send the picture in to us.
Yes. So put it on our Facebook
Yes,
page
or Twitter.
or
Or
email
email it.
it to us.
Exactly.
And we will pick a winner at random, and we will send you a lovely signed rubber duck.
We will. We will send you a rubber duck.
That's it for the first episode.
That is. I hope
So
you enjoyed it.
we're gonna go and round up some miniature horses and a massive duck, and enjoy them as our pets.
We are. That's what we're going to do for this month, and when we'll be back in a month's time.
In a month's time.
Yeah.
But thank you very much for listening.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
And remember to check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and on the old email.
Cheers.
Cheers.